Me and Jank both believe there's only one person, and I think you feel like this too, Schulz. There's only one person that could come to the forefront and bring us together as a people. Who am I thinking?
Dr. Umar Johnson, man.
He's one, but I'm sorry.
In this video, Andrew Schulz and Charlemagne welcome Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks on their podcast, Brilliant Idiots. Andrew Schulz, Charlemagne, and Cenk Uygur discuss the possibility of Jon Stewart running for president and his likelihood of winning. With that, let's watch Andrew Schulz and Cenk Uygur get into a back and forth about Jon Stewart running for president.
Facts first. We don't mess around with the facts. So check out Young Turks YouTube, 6 o'clock Eastern. And check out Rebellion PAC, because that's my PAC that's trying to do the economically populist wing of the Bernie movement. Ro Khanna's in it. We got a whole bunch of great candidates. Go support those guys. So rebellionpac.com.
You know, I wanted to get into some of America's problems and talk about what's going on in California, but I feel like I would rather talk about solutions. And when you said Rebellion PAC, it made me think of, you know, what are some solutions? What is going to change the current consciousness of America, right? And we always talk about that happening through people, whether it is, you know, great leaders like a Martin Luther King Jr. or great elected officials, you know, like a Barack Obama or Bill Clinton or whoever the change agents were in that space. Me and Cenk both believe there's only one person, and I think you feel like this too, Schulz. There's only one person that could come to the forefront and bring us together as a people. Who am I thinking?
Dr. Umar Johnson, man.
He's one, but I'm sorry.
Dr. Umar. the one true hope is the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson. I think that he'd be a fantastic
You
choice.
need a Dr. Umar, though. You should have Dr. Umar on Young Turks.
No, I think I know who you're talking about, Jon Stewart.
Come on,
Absolutely.
man.
Yeah.
Why do you think that, Cenk?
First of all, you have to be likable to win. John's super likable. That's why entertainers win all the time. Trump was not a businessman. He failed a business 6 different times. He was an entertainer. He was a reality host on Apprentice. Ronald Reagan was an actor. Zelensky's a comic, right? So John is super likable. Number 2, he knows the material, and he's effective. He got a bill passed from outside Congress.
That's right.
That's hard.
That's right.
That's
That's
hard.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
And then look at the contrast between Trump and Stewart as an example. Now, he wouldn't be running against Trump, we hope, right? But
By the way, we got to stop saying that, because if he's running against Trump in 2028, I don't care who Trump runs against, the fight is fixed. If he runs in 2028, he's going to win. We're done. It's over. Democracy as we know it is done.
yeah, so but it contrasts to what Trumpism got done, right? Was one major bill that Trump got passed in his first term was a giant tax cut for the rich. What's the major bill he's going for now? Tax cut for the rich. What did John get passed? Help for first responders.
That's right.
Oh, that's a beautiful contrast.
That's right.
What a stupid contrast. Jon Stewart, to his credit, worked very hard to get assistance for first responders. That's beautiful, and I applaud him for it. But comparing a tax bill passed by a president of the United States to an actor helping a bill get passed out of his own willingness to spend his time and money and raise awareness, it's just not the same thing. I don't get what he's going for. For me, Jon Stewart can be very logical at times, and I have seen multiple signs that he is a little bit, at least, willing to see the flaws in the Democrat Party. And he doesn't have TDS. He definitely doesn't like Trump. I probably disagree about every opinion he has about Trump, but I've seen him do segments where he's making fun of CNN or MSNBC for framing a story so ridiculously that even him, a bleeding heart Democrat, had to say, this is ridiculous. Like, acknowledge the way they're trying to manipulate people. But the reason I could never get behind that guy, well, first of all, he's a Democrat, so there's that. But the reason I can't give him any more credit than that is, I don't know if you guys remember, he did this interview about transitioning children, and he had a doctor on that was like, this is insane. And he very indignantly pushed back with the most brain dead objections, just completely ignoring biology and reality. As he's talking to a doctor about something he knows nothing about, you can't believe that the guy who gave that interview, this wasn't that long ago, is the same guy that can laugh about people with TDS. It does. Those are both such different ends of the spectrum. Anyway, let's get back to it.
Right? Okay, number 2, he's super smart, right? You got smart, you got likable, and you need courage. And I think he's courageous. He's taking on the powerful. What did he do? He first showed back. He said Biden's too old. Everybody, went after him for that, but he stood his ground because he's courageous.
Said
right?
COVID was made in a lab.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and look, we're tired of the politicians. The politicians are full of crap, right? And John's not full of crap. And he has the credibility to call out Democrats and Republicans, right?
Yeah, I think he has the
And
trust.
Get independent.
He's
And he
trust
knows what the
America.
fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He knows
John actually knows he knows politics, he knows the political world, he knows the space. Like he's gotten legislation passed. He knows what he's doing.
all of the qualifications that would make him an amazing president are probably the reason why he won't want to do it. You almost want someone who doesn't want to do it.
Why is there not a
No, but the line from Gladiator.
That's right.
Was so Marcus Aurelius tells Maximus, I want
Not
you to
you,
be
who?
Caesar, and he says, no, me, no, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And he says, that's why it's got to be.
That's why it's got to be.
Yeah,
you.
I mean, it would be an amazing benevolent act because obviously, John is in this perfect place in his life. He has all his success. I'm sure he's, financially secure. He's got his family, and he would be giving up a lot of that and putting himself in an unbelievable shitstorm, him and his family in an unbelievable shitstorm.
Yeah, but there's no such thing as shitstorms anymore. Now, will your privacy and everything get invaded? Sure, but as far as like them pulling up shit from back in the day, Trump wiped that out the way. It's
Yeah, you're right.
gone.
It's different. It's
Nobody
definitely
gives
different.
a fuck about anything that you had that you're trying to hide. Nobody cares.
Yeah, the other day, so he does the show on Monday where he's kidding around about deport, and doing the jerk off motion and stuff. And he's kidding with us afterwards, saying like, "Oh man, imagine that in a commercial."
Yeah,
and my answer is, "Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
In fact, they'll like you more."
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And like he,
Have you spoken to
he's
him about running?
trustworthy
You spoke to him about running, John?
for like a second.
Yeah. Monday, we was at the Daily Show Monday.
Oh, okay, good,
Yeah,
good.
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
Great night to be there too, by the way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, Jenkins was in town. He was like, "You want to go by the Daily Show?" I'm like, "All right, let's go up. Let's pull up." And it was Stephen A. Smith that night. And it was, John's covering what's going on in California. And he's covering the Elon Trump shit. Like, oh, it was beautiful.
What do you? All right, we'll keep going on
So,
this, and then
look-
because I want to talk Elon and Trump, but go
Yeah.
on.
So at least one more thing on John. Look, he has a significant chance of winning, and you'd kind of have to be crazy to think that he doesn't have a chance.
I think he wins Democrat without a doubt.
I think he wins the country landslide.
I think he wins.
No, the general election is easy.
I think general
the
election-
primary is harder.
You think the primary's harder?
Oh, definitely.
because of the DNC.
Yeah,
because
because
of their politics.
and establishment media.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, they'll think, Jon Stewart, that's so funny. Let's cover him. Oh, he's going to run. He's a celebrity. It'll be fun, right? And they'll cover him, but they'll think he won't win, just like they thought Trump wouldn't win, right? And then he'll get ahead of steam. And once he gets ahead of steam, they'll be like, whoa.
But
no, it's got to be Buttigieg. It's got to be Buttigieg.
But establishment media has always loved John.
I think establishment media will have reason to be contrarian to anyone who gains steam like Trump did and like, I don't know, a celebrity like Jon Stewart would. But Jon Stewart's a Democrat. The establishment narrative aligns much better with the Democrat Party. So I think they wouldn't just let Jon Stewart off the hook for anything, but it will look like they're pretty much supporting him compared to the way they've treated Trump. There'll never be any other candidate they treat the way they've treated Trump. Anyway, let's wrap it up.
Like, John has been the most honest voice in politics
Until
for at
he
least-
runs.
Until he
You
runs.
think?
Yeah, because
Here's why.
But what do you throw at him? Like, to your point, what do you throw? That he had nothing bad.
They'll find
There's no
something.
flaws on John.
They'll find
John's
something.
But
clean.
it won't work. It won't work. So will they go after him? Yes. Why? So they don't. It's not that the reporters and the anchors know this and it's a conspiracy, and just like with Israel's no. There's none of that, right? But 17 billion in the last election cycle and of money in politics, and most of that went to mainstream media, right? So their number one client in cable news is politicians.
Yeah.
Okay, they make so much money from politicians and from money in politics. And once they get a sense that Jon Stewart might actually try to end money in politics, mainstream media is going to panic. Okay, they're like, whoa. I mean, why do they never talk about money in politics when that's what decides literally 95% of the elections?
That's
in
what makes their
Congress?
businesses profitable.
Exactly. In fact, one of our hosts, David Schulz,
We want to hear from you. What did you guys think about this conversation between Charlemagne, Andrew Schulz, and Cenk Uygur? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.